Fake to Davis. Bridgewater lofting corner the end zone. It is caught for the touchdown. The first NFL touch for Colin Thompson is a score.
There you go. The first NFL touch is a touchdown for Colin Thompson. When was the last time you watched that? 10 minutes ago?
Just about. I've watched it, I don't know how many times. It's it never gets old. It was unique because we lost, and to that regard, it was tough to, personally, an emotional high for myself, and then such a low because we lost to the Bucs who were now in the Super Bowl. So, I've seen it a bunch. I smile the same way every time, and not really because of me scoring. It's because I know how much my teammates care about me. When you watch that video and you look in the background, I see somebody new every time that's jacked up. I got mauled on the sideline. I had embraces with some of my Temple coaches that really birthed me as a player and brought me back from the dead when I transferred from Florida. So there's a lot of unique stories behind it. It truly takes a village for that moment to happen. You guys are a part of that village at 97.3, especially you two in particular. We did a podcast together. We've done a lot of work together. People don't know that. I mean, I'm sure you could assume, but you may not know that. That's tough times for me, man. I'm doing radio. I think I play in the NFL, and I'm sitting doing pregame shows, and we're doing podcasts, and it was tough. But I appreciate you guys supporting me throughout the way. And like I said, you guys are part of my family, and we got to celebrate together through your texts and calls and coming on the show. And that's just a moment that's unreal, and it's because of all the people that invested in me over the years.
So, obviously, and by the way, congratulations. You've re-upped with the Carolina Panthers, so you'll be back with the Panthers. And, yeah, you're right. You're doing radio. You're playing in the AAF. You're playing in the XFL. I'm sure there are times where you're sitting in your apartment right now thinking, how did I end up here? How did it happen? But what has the last year kind of been like, going through, I don't know if I'm ever going to play football again, to playing football in a pandemic?
Well, Mike, I'll start back when, I was doing radio. I was doing Temple football games on Saturday, countdown to kickoff shows Sunday and Monday. Monday, we had practice for Lower Cape May Regional football. This is when I was coaching 7th and 8th grade. Now I'm the OC for the varsity. So I would do practice on Monday, leave practice early, drive up, do radio with you guys. And then I would do practice Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, game Friday, and then I would miss the game usually and then get on a flight and go with Temple somewhere. If it was a home game, I would do the Temple home game on the radio on Saturday, and I'd be able to coach the 7th and 8th grade game. Fast forward, we're at practice one day, it's raining, I'm in the gym, and I got a call from the XFL, we're going to draft you in Tampa, late rounds. I thought I wasn't even going to get drafted. Go through the entire offseason with them. It was like a month, and then a training camp, and then made the team, which I don't even know if I was going to make that team. I was a third tight end. I ended up becoming having a significant role with the team. The life flashed before your eyes. All of a sudden, this thing called COVID that we sat around lunch and laughed about, saying, we'll never get touched by this thing. Obviously shut down the whole world, but shut down our league. And then just went into just silence. Joined you guys after the show, talked about how the league was. That was first class. It's going to come back better than ever, I'm sure. And then all of a sudden, this guy named Matt Rule gave me a call and said, I want to have you back. And I want to coach you again. I want to give you another shot. And that was really a year before that. He's texting me asking if I'm ready to start coaching. So, things went well in the XFL. It opened the opportunity for me to play in the NFL, and got the blessing from Coach Rule and had to go in there and prove everybody right that believed in me. And I was fortunate enough to do that and play, over 300 snaps in the NFL. Score a touchdown, which was crazy, but really more importantly to me, I had a significant role in our offense on the short yardage goal line, different packages on third down, first down, different plays. So it was fun. And I was able to do what I love and really prove to myself and everyone that's believed in me that I can do it, which is pretty special.
Yeah, it's an incredible story. And I just wonder, now that you had a taste in the NFL, what's the next steps? Off seasons, preparing for next year. How quickly do you jump right back into that off-season training? Do you need a period of time to cool down? Like, how does your body feel? All of that now that you had that taste.
Well, I think my preparation in the off-season led me to be where I'm at today, where I sit and say I had some minor bumps throughout the season, but nothing major. Now, a lot of that's luck. A lot of that's preparation. If you train hard, your body will adapt to injuries because it's going to happen. It's going to happen for sure. So I got into January 3rd and talked to a couple of my buddies around the league that I trust that are just workhorses and in great shape and take care of their body really well. And they said, hey, you need to take 30 days off. So I took 30 days off, and that was extremely challenging. It sounds like that sounds great. And I looked forward to that period. Don't get me wrong, but the challenge mentally of you can go for a walk today, but that's it. Like, don't run, don't lift, don't do push-ups, don't do sit-ups, don't nothing, just relax. So I got used to it after about a week. It was the last 3 weeks were great. And I got back into it actually the last couple of days. On the 3rd, I saw our boy Dave Weinberg at the pool today. While with Crest, he was hitting the lap. So
Today?
Yeah, today we had a 97.3 day in the pool, man. Everyone's welcome.
Oh, I didn't realize you're back home now?
I'm back home now.
Oh, okay. I figured that you were down in Carolina.
No, man. I don't know how things will go. To finish up with Hunter, essentially, I just started approaching it like I would. I'm going to bring my body back slowly. I'm going to start swimming, walking, like literally like teaching yourself how to crawl again, and then come back, and then I'll hit it. I'll probably be full swing March 1st again, like rolling, lifting hard, running hard, getting body back ready to go, running routes, more cutting, hit the beach here. I live on the beach here in Cape May, not live, but I try to live on it with running because I need all the help I can get running. But that's neither here nor there. So, yeah, I'm back down in Cape May, and I don't know when I'll go back to Carolina. If we're virtual, I'll be here again, training, coaching LCMR football, repping the shirt today for the guys. And, yeah, so we'll see what happens, but I don't know how it's going to go. My gut is we'll be virtual again just because of COVID. Obviously, it's still hanging around. So we'll see what happens. But, yeah, I'll be here until they give us the high sign, and then I'll be down there ready to go again.
Well, obviously, playing in the NFC South, you know Tampa Bay very well. So let's start and get your kind of overview of the Buccaneers and kind of give us your thoughts on them for this Super Bowl, because obviously, it's funny, you scored the touchdown against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So where'd you find the soft spot in that defense? No, but tell us a little bit about this Tampa Bay team from someone who played against them's perspective.
Well, I'll touch on the offense first, and then I'll hit on the defense that I scouted twice, and just really a solid roster, right? Really good roster before Tom Brady got there. And Tom walks in, the greatest quarterback in NFL history, and they're even better, obviously. So offensively, I like the one thing that people don't talk about. I like the run game. Leonard Fournette, obviously an underrated, really rated where he should be player. He's a great player in this league. I like their other back as well. I like their 3 tight ends, Brate, Cameron Jordan. Not Cameron Jordan. That's an old one. Wow. It's Brate, Jordan Howard, and Rob Gronkowski. They have a great group. They run one run play pretty much. It's called duo. No pulling, no nothing out of the guards. It's just a straight downhill play. It's the old Le'Veon Bell play where he would stop, read the hole, and hit it. They run that play. We run that play. Everyone in the league does just about. They have 3 tight ends that block well, a good offensive line. And then obviously you touch on the receivers. That's a pretty good group. And Miller's come on as a really strong number 1, 2, or 3, whatever they rely on him to be. You never know with Brady's guys. They all can be number 1s at one point in time. So offensively, they have obviously in Tom, right, and a ton of weapons. And then defensively, probably the best defensive line we faced all year. I mean, we faced a lot of really good ones. DC is one of the teams I thought was one of the better ones as well as a group. But the Bucs have depth. They have Jason Pierre-Paul, Shaq Thompson, Golston. I think Vita Vea's healthy. I know they have Sue, and they have Devin White in the middle. They have linebacker depth. David's there as well, right? So they have a lot of front 7. They got that 5 down front, and they have Shaq Barrett and JPP set the edges for them. So it's hard for tight ends and these tackles to set the edge in the run game. And then just think about it. Flip side, we're going to get to Kansas City here in a second. Kansas City's out both of their tackles. So we saw what they did to Green Bay last week when Green Bay was thin at the offensive line spot when David Bakhtiari had to leave, and they moved their right guard to left tackle. And it's hard. This league's tough, man. These defensive ends are the best athletes and the biggest guys on the field. So they wreak havoc if you don't have depth and solidarity sometimes to do it. So I think the Bucs have a fantastic roster. They present a lot of problems and mismatches across the field, and obviously they're led by Tom Brady and Bruce Arians, who we're talking Temple, their whole staff's Temple. I think they have 9 coaches that either played or coached at Temple, and Todd Bowles played for Bruce there back in the day. So, yeah, I like the Bucs. I think they're loaded. I've scouted them twice, and they have a lot of veteran presence. Defensive coordinator in Todd Bowles, and obviously offensive coordinator in Leftwich, and Bruce calling the plays.
Yes, twice against Tampa, lost 31-17, lost 46-23. Also played Kansas City back on November the 8th. Good game, 33-31. Scout them out for us from your game against Kansas City.
Well, they have firepower. We all know about the firepower, right? They're the most gifted quarterback who's got a gifted mind and has learned an awesome offense that we saw a lot of quarterbacks here in Philadelphia do really well under, including the former staff with Doug, the new staff. It's all the same offense. Indy runs the same offense. The Bears run the same offense. It's the same terminology I was in Chicago. It's tight end friendly. Kansas City probably has one of the best tight ends. I like. It's tough for me, the tight end debate, but Kelsey's a beast. He's the best tight end in the league. Him and Kittle and Gronk, right, are a couple guys. There's so many good guys now. I'm getting off topic, but Kelsey, stud. Obviously, Cheetah, stud. They have depth at receiver. Sammy Watkins, I think he's coming back. Demarcus Robinson, who I play with in Florida, he's a great number 3 wideout. And
yeah, he just got cleared from COVID.
Yep, so he's back. I mean, he's a good, solid 3-4. They have depth there. These guys know how to really, when scramble rules go into effect and the initial play's over, those guys really know how to. That's not just run where you want to run. That's a strategic thing. If he rolls right, we go here. He rolls left, we go here. So they have that down, and they're going to be able to create plays like that. And Andy's going to scheme some stuff up for him that's going to hit. Defensively, Tyrann Mathieu runs around. He makes a ton of plays for him. They have good safety play. They have good linebacker play, and I think they have really good defensive ends. Frank Clark, and I always struggle to say his name, Tanu. It's long, but he played at Villanova, and he's a great player, and we've become friendly. But I know his name's Tanu, and he's a great guy. But they have some depth there, and they won a Super Bowl last year. They know what it takes. They obviously got through a ton with the COVID year, and they have a lot of really good things going for them, and that's confidence and swagger, and that stuff matters. But so do the Bucs. So it's going to be an all-timer because not just because of the quarterbacks, because of the teams, because of the coaches. There's just good depth on both sides of the ball. But I think for me, what I look at is this offensive line health, and you guys saw it. Philly obviously is. When you're missing 2 tackles, you're going to be facing Shaq Barrett and JPP. I think Kansas City's going to have their hands full with them.
All right, Colin Thompson, Carolina Panthers, Lower Cape May offensive coordinator. So, obviously, you talked to us during the season about that role and how that all kind of went. Is that something that you have the shirt on? Do you plan on – it's pretty cool that you have the same colors, too, by the way.
Yeah.
It's very, very similar color scheme. Do you plan on continuing to fill that role?
Oh, yeah, man. I'm back in town, turning the heat up. We're getting things going. Although most of the kids are playing the sports, they're doing the basketball seasons now, and they're getting ready for wrestling. But we'll be ready to go come June or whatever it may be. But been able to just be around the coaches again and hear how the guys did this season. Everything was virtual, so I get to see how they play, but I get to really talk to the coaches. So yeah, we're already getting things rolling this off season. We're changing some things up. I don't want to give too much over the air because these are all the teams we play. So I'll leave it at that. But we have exciting plans for the off season, and I'm looking forward to being a part of the staff again this season.
I'm curious, did you find that your message was able to still get across at an efficient rate when you were doing it virtually, or are you like, this is just not what it needs to be?
No, it was. I think, there's a common thread with the staff, what we want to do, and really the culture over winning. Culture precedes winning, and we instilled that this year. And yeah, it was tough, no doubt about it, being away, but nonetheless, we were able to meet on a consistent basis and stay in communication, which is key. And I think we're all fried with Zoom at this point, but we were tough with it. And Coach Lance Bailey and Matt Danzy and Sam Lawler, Billy Damiana, the list of coaches goes on and on. We had a great group, and they all deserved their shout outs because and Larry Ziemba, our school principal, there's a great group of guys that are just invested in it. And I think because we had a consistent message started with our head coach, Lance Bailey, that this is going to be the right thing for us, even though I'm away. And then Ricky Venuto, who's our offensive coordinator, Ricky's going to Yale. He stepped in for me and was with Lance Bailey being the offensive coordinator. His dad was a former OC at Villanova. So, we have a great group. It's a great question, but yeah, no doubt about it. We stayed on the same page the entire time.
So we'll leave you with this because this is your first year NFL offseason, and now it starts. Friends' names are in the rumor mill. Things start getting crazy. I mean, how is life in the NFL when you're in the offseason? It's one thing when it's in season because there's not a lot of in-season rumors about you're going here, he could be going there, but now there's that uncertainty feeling. How's life in the NFL in the offseason with that?
Well, it was funny before the trade deadline, you said uncertainty and trading, et cetera. My name was floated to be traded to the Eagles, and I think one of the Philly radio stations put it out as, they picked a player from each team who could be traded to the Eagles. And I was like, oh man, they hate me in Philly. Like, this kid's not catching any passes. You guys be talking about.
I would never say that. Are you kidding me?
This kid can't catch. I can. It's just, I block. That's what I do. So, Mike, it's unique in the sense that I'm just starting to get back into listening to you guys again and getting back into listening to, the rumor mill and watching the NFL Network in the morning, because during season I get pretty fried with it. I didn't watch a ton of games. I didn't watch a ton of college football. We traveled during half of it, so for me, this is great to get back in. I get to tune into you guys. I get to, listen to some football podcasts when I was listening to anything but football during the season. So it's unique.
You can watch us now.
I can watch you now. Exactly. It's been a crazy week though, to be honest with you. It's humbling. I've been on a bunch of different podcasts and radio shows, and to finish the week off with you guys, I don't want it any other way. I'll be completely honest. It's been a ride, and I'm thankful for you guys. I really am, and that's not just whatever coach speak or cliche, because we've done a lot. We've done a lot of radio together, doing a podcast together. Mike and I, the flashbacks to doing radio at the beach down here, at the Marquee and the Barefoot Bar, and then driving up to you guys and doing all the radio. And so, I thank you guys, and I'm glad we've been able to stay in touch and do this.
All right, so last one real quick. Standing on the sideline, more fun to watch, Mahomes or Brady?
Oh, man.
We're on the radio. You can't be silent.
I know, Mike. I know. Well, you know what? My dad used to say to me, Colin, when we listen to Mike and Mike in the morning, and that's how I learned to get into radio, he's like, listen to the pause. The pause is good. And he was right. So I gave a little pregnant pause there. And I'm going to say they're both the same because they both do different things so well. Like, you see with Mahomes, you're like, that guy does stuff that you can't teach. And then you see with Brady, you're like, this is the dictionary of how to do it, right? So they're both fun. It's hard to answer. I think Mahomes is the right answer because he runs around, he throws it like backwards. But if you're a football nerd, you're like, Brady just saw this coverage, check this, check that, got a 6-yard play when it should have been a tackle for loss. So They both have their pros. They don't have any cons, and they're just both unreal. So
the fact that Brady's 45 and it makes this a tough decision tells you enough what you need to know about him. Colin Thompson, everybody, first year in the books for the Carolina Panthers. He'll be back in Carolina for year number 2. I didn't realize you were in Cape May, so we'll have to catch up soon, and hopefully we can, do it safely and see how everything's going. You look good.
Look at that hair.
Yeah. It's flowing.
I'm with you. Look at that.
Little Molly look.
That's a nice thing of lettuce right there.
We're getting ready for Flyer season, baby. Let's go Flyers, man.
Let's go. Big one tonight.
Yeah. Flyers, Boston tonight on 97.3. And by the way, noon Sunday we'll have it against Washington. All right, bud. Well, we'll catch up soon. Good to see you.
Appreciate you guys having me on. Talk soon.